This video is going to go over appointment schedules in Google Calendar, for setting up for conferences or really anything that you would like to schedule some times for people, students to meet with you. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up our calendar link, our calendar page, and we're going to look at our calendar. Now, you can create a schedule for anything. I'm going to show you for if we're setting up for the high school or for the middle school for our conferences there. But what we're going to do is once we're in our calendar, we first want to make sure that we're set for appointment schedules, not appointment slots. And there's a lot of really cool features that you can only do if you have schedules. So when we open up our calendar, the first thing we want to do is go to our settings by opening up the settings menu. And we're going to go into our settings. And under our general settings, what we're going to do is we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And you're going to see a section that says appointment schedules. And you're going to want to make sure that you have a checkbox here that's highlighted indicating create appointment schedules instead of appointment slots. If you do not have that box checked, you will not see the features that I'm going to talk to you about today. So you definitely want to make sure that that box is checked because there's some really cool features in there for you to create your appointment schedule. So once you've got that done, we're going to get out of our settings and we're going to go over and hit the create button, and we're going to choose an appointment schedule. And this is going to create our bookable appointment schedule. Your title is going to be your booking page. What is it that you're going to get? So I've got one that I do, Tech Talk. So you think about what you want to do. So this is going to be conferences. So I'm going to do Mr. Egner conferences. So there's my conferences. Now we can change how long do we want each appointment to last. So my administrator talked to me and said our conferences are 20 minutes. So I'm going to go down here to custom, and you can make it anytime you want. I'm going to make it 20 minutes, and I'm going to hit done. Now, when you've got this, this is going to be your appointments. And so what you can do is this general availability will set up and show you that if you are, if you have another appointment in your calendar, it will remove that spot. So this is a great feature for you, especially if you're setting up something for like recurring appointments for students to meet with you or something of like that. Now, by default, it comes up, it's going to repeat weekly, and you can set up your times. This would be great if maybe you had a class period that you were going to work with students, or students needed to come for target time or something like that. You could have students book appointments to come to Target or come to a location to meet with a teacher. So every day from 10 to 2, I'm available for tutoring help, or 7 to 8, you can come see me in the morning. So students can even use this booking page to set up times to meet with teachers during their office hours or for tutoring or things like that that you will really help you get track of. But for our purposes, we're going to do it not repeat. So it does not repeat. Then we're going to pick our date. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to do, okay, September 19th. We're going to do our conferences, and I'm going to do them there after school. So we're going to do from 4 to 7 p.m. is what I'm going to set mine up for, 4 to 7 p.m. So those are going to be my conferences. Now I could add a second date. So say if this was for the middle school, right, they've got 2 dates that they're doing their conferences. They're doing September 29th from 4 to 7, and then we could add another date in of October 3rd from 4 to 7 p.m. So whatever your building is set up for your conference times or the dates for your conferences is what you're going to put in here. So we're just going to show, all right, we're going to set it up. We've got these 2 dates as if we're looking at the middle school. The next thing that you've got is your scheduling window. This is going to be how soon can somebody schedule an appointment with you. By default, nobody can schedule an appointment for more than 60 days. This is going to be for your recurring appointments. If I've got Tech Talk set up all the way out until May, the farthest out somebody can book a time with me is 60 days. Now you can go in and you could change all of this. Where you want to be careful is this minimum time before. If you make this too long, like if I say it's got to be, I'm going to make it's got to be 30 hours before or 24 hours before, that means I can't have a parent wake up in the morning and say, I would like to meet with Mr. Egner at 4 o'clock today because it's outside of that window. Conversely, if you make it too short, if you say only an hour before, if you're a traveling teacher or maybe you've got something else going on, I could have somebody set up to make an appointment with me at 3:30, at 2:30 in the afternoon, and then I'd have to constantly be, making sure I'm aware of that. So you want to kind of see where you're at. So a good rule of thought is it's got to be at least 4 hours ahead and 6 days in advance. You can change that to whatever you would like to do. The next one that's really a very cool feature that you only get in the schedules is your booked appointment settings. And so we're going to open this up, and what you've got here is buffer time. This is great for how are you going to get from one, how much time do you need from one meeting to the next meeting, especially if you're going to do these virtually, which we're going to talk about here in a second, to add these virtually from doing a Google Meet with them. So it gives you time to close out the one Google Meet. Maybe they talked a little bit too long and get into the next Google Meet. So what I would do is I would put a buffer time in, and I would add a buffer time of, and this is going to be what you think you would need to do. I'm going to add a buffer time in of 4 minutes because that's really all I would need to close out. Maybe somebody talked for a little bit longer. You could make it 5 minutes. Obviously, this cuts into the number of appointments you have because a 20-minute appointment will now have essentially be 25 minutes because you have that buffer time in between where you can't have another appointment booked for you. So you obviously don't want to make your buffer time 30 minutes in between because that's going to say, I have an appointment, 30-minute break, I have an appointment, 30-minute transition. So that's definitely something you want to kind of look at. The other one that you could look at is how many booked appointments do you accept in a single day? This would be something if maybe it's your office hours or tutoring, whatever. I like to look at and leave that one unchecked because it's however many slots I have available or slots that I'm willing to take for that day. So if you have an hour's worth of time and you break it into two 30-minute sessions, then you don't have to worry about the max being two because you can only book two people. So I really don't mess with this one here. You can change the color if you'd like to make a default color for your appointments. I'm going to change this and say, okay, I'm going to make this red. So my booking for conferences is going to be this red color. So then what we're going to do once we've gotten through these basics of it, we're going to hit next. And your booking photo is going to be whatever you've got for your Albert Lea Schools account logo. So you've got that. This location and conferencing, this is going to be up to what your building administrator has determined. Are you face-to-face conferences? Are you doing a Google Meet conferences? Are you doing a hybrid of both? So what we can do here with this is we can choose a location. If you are going to do both, like a hybrid version, what you would want to do is first create this Google Meet conference. And what this will do is each appointment will get its own unique Google Meet. This is very important because you don't want parents from one conference to have a Google Meet link for another conference, because if somebody shows up early, you could be talking about confidential information and another parent jumps in and it could create some problems for you. So each booking appointment will get its own unique Google Calendar Meet, and you will just go from meeting link to meeting link to meeting link. So you would be the one changing into the different meeting links so that you don't have to worry about another parent or student or somebody who's not supposed to be part of that link jumping in and getting into that link. Okay, so we set up the Google Meet, and then what we're going to put in here also for my description is I'm going to just give something in here. Parents can choose to either meet in person in room 221 at Brookside, or use the above, or use the Google Meet link created when booking appointment. Okay, so we've got it right there, so they know where they could meet or what they're going to do when they're booking the appointment. So now what we're going to do here is, this is also a very important one for our booking form. This is information that you require from somebody who's going to book an appointment with you. So by default, they have to give you their first name, their last name, and their email address so that you've got some information. What we also want to do, and this is a really important step, is add an item. And we want to add, the only other two items you can add is phone number or one custom item. So I'm going to, if you want to check to make sure that you've got current information, we could say, yeah, I want to add their phone number too. This helps if maybe they didn't show up on time or having trouble getting the meeting link, you could get a hold of them by phone as well. So I'm going to make it a required item. I'm going to add that as well. And I'm going to add one last thing here. So this is good because I can see I get their first name, last name, email, and phone number, which I can compare to Synergy. So if I need to update any of our contact information. But here's a really good one. If we add this custom item, what we want to do is we want to add student name, okay, and make it required. Who are we talking about, right? If you just give me your name and your email, but I don't know what student we're talking about, I won't be able to prepare for you. So this is a very important one that you want to make so that they've got. So when anybody books an appointment with me, this is the information that they have to give to me, okay? Down at the bottom, you don't have to do the require email verification. What the require email verification is, has to match has to verify that their email is an actual email address. I would leave that one alone. But your booking reminders, what you can do is when somebody creates an appointment, you get a calendar invitation, and they will also get a reminder email a day before the appointment or whatever you set up. So you can say, I want to email it an hour before, 30 minutes before. You can add additional in if you wanted to. Like, so I could say, okay, you're going to get an email one day before, and you get an email 30 minutes before. Be very careful that we don't want to inundate our parents with it. I'd leave it kind of where it is, just a day before, just a reminder you've got an appointment with Burke Egner for conferences. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the save button, and this is going to create my appointment schedule. And so here are my appointment schedules that we've got for our booking page. So what I can do is if I open up this booking page, so this is going to be the page that we are going to send out to our parents. And so this is my Mr. Egner conferences. So right away, if I look at this, today's the 13th, I have no appointments because I didn't have anything. So I would have to navigate to the right appointments. And here are my booking appointment slots that I have available that are within that meeting time that I wanted. So I would send this out to our parents so we could get that. So if I go back to our booking appointment here, if I hit the share button, copy this link, when I hit copy the link, this is the link that you're going to put into, perhaps your building administrators ask you to report, what is your conference link? When are you going to send out an email to parents saying, hey, this is our conference times, so parents can book conferences with you. That's going to be the link that you're going to put out to them so that you can get to this. So when you go back to that link, what that link is, if I put that link in, this is my conference meeting link, and I could go here and I see Thursday the 29th, Monday, October 3rd, here's the appointment. So then as a parent, I can go in here and say, okay, I want to meet at this time. I'm going to fill my contact information in. I'm also going to put my phone number in, 379-5203, and we're going to talk about my son, Griffin, right? So we're going to talk about my son, Griffin Egner. So we're going to do that. I hit this book, and it will book the appointment for me, send me an email to let me know that I've got it, and then this Google appointment link will come up as well. Great way to set up and create your booking slots. If you're having any trouble with it, please feel free to reach out to me. This and other videos can be found on the Teacher Tech Tools pages. Have a great day.